What's up, everybody? It's me, Anthony, and it's the time of the week again. It's Anthony's NFL Picks. Week 7. Heard me right. We are now in the 7th week of the NFL. This season has gone by very quickly, and oh boy, this season's very weird to me because these picks have been kind of weird this season. Starting things off, going into last week, my record was actually not that great starting it off. I was actually 41-37. This week I did an amazing job. I went 12-2, and now my record is 53-39. A huge improvement, and I'm very proud about that. I'm very happy. The only questions I got wrong, or the only picks I got wrong, were the Colts-Titans game and the 49ers-Seahawks game I got incorrect. Other than that, I got all 12 of them right because 4 teams were on bye week. But this time, only 2 teams will be on bye week this week. And also, I hit 30 subscribers. So thank you so much for 30 subscribers. And be sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bells to get updated on my newest content. But enough with the intro. Let's dive in and get started with this week. So, to start off week 7, there'll be 2 teams on bye week. And they are the 4-2 Bears and the 3-3 Cowboys will not be playing for this week. Anyways, let's get started. And starting things off for Thursday Night Football, we got the 3-3 Broncos and the 2-4 Saints. Broncos, they're here after losing against the Chargers, almost came back, but they still lost. They scored 16 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, almost beating them, but, they were just struggling. Yeah, Bo Nix had a very tough game. However, they're going to New Orleans against the Saints, who dropped 4 straight, starting off 2-0. Now they're 2-4. Spencer Rattler did not do that great of a job. They lost to the Buccaneers 51-27. They scored 27 points in the second quarter. They were winning at one point, and then after that, they were just bad, the Saints. To be honest, I think that the Saints are going to fire Dennis Allen in the middle of the season or at the end of the season, but I still think the Broncos are going to win this game. And fun fact, Sean Payton is actually taking on his former team he used to coach, the Saints. They won Super Bowl 44 against the Colts, actually. But to be honest, I might have to go with the Broncos. Broncos will beat the Saints 23-10. Broncos will be 4-3. Saints will be 2-4. We move on with our next game. Coming up at our next game, we go to London now. This time, it's going to be a very weird game. It's the 1-5 Patriots and the 1-5 Jaguars. Patriots are here after losing to the Texans. Drake May made his debut, didn't do that great as planned. However, they're going to take on the Jaguars, who also lost as well. Both teams are coming back from losses. The Jaguars are a little bit better, and I'm still surprised Doug Peterson still has a coaching job after they got blown out by the Bears 35-16. But I still think Jacksonville will win this game because the Jaguars are a little bit better. They have more weapons than the Patriots. So it just makes sense for me to go with Jacksonville. Jaguars will beat the Patriots 22-19. Jaguars will be 2-5. The Patriots will be 1-6. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got a pretty good game. This is going to be a good one. We got the 4-1 Lions and the 5-0 undefeated Vikings, an NFC North matchup. To be honest, I think the Lions could win this game. However, they are here after blowing out Dallas 47-9. However, their defense is going to be a little bit bad now, the Lions, because Aiden Hutchinson is out for the whole season with a bad fibula injury, which is a huge letdown for them, so that's going to be bad. But I think they could beat Minnesota because the Vikings have a hard time closing off games. They almost blew it against the Packers week 4, and they almost blew it against the Jets week 5. So I think it's clear to say that I think the Vikings' undefeated season will end here, and I think that the Lions will win this game and finally the NFC North. Lions will beat the Vikings 31-28. The Lions are going to be 5-1, and the Vikings will be 5-1. And also, TJ Hawkinson is coming back, taking on his former team. And on Christmas Eve, he took on his former team and got hurt. But now he's coming back to take on his former team, and he's returning. So that's a fun fact, though. But anyways, we're moving on with our next game. Coming up at our next game, we got the 1-4 Titans and the 4-2 Bills. Titans are here after losing that close game against the Colts, 20-17 at home. They have not won a home game this season, the Titans, and now they're going to be going away against Buffalo, who barely beat the Jets at that last-second interception Aaron Rodgers made. They won that game, the Bills, 23-20. They didn't have James Cook due to a toe injury. However, I think James Cook will return against the Titans, and I think they're going to beat them by 10 points, I think. I think Buffalo will win this game, and they'll continue to lead the AFC East, but they gave out too many points, so that is a huge letdown. Bills will beat the Titans 27-17. The Bills will be 5-2. Titans will be 1-5. We'll be moving on with game number 4 of this. Game number 5 of this week. Coming up at our next game, we got the 2-3 Dolphins and the 3-3 Colts. Dolphins are coming back from their bye week. They have more rest, they're more energized, and they still don't have Tua until week 8, which is going to be a bit tricky because they're taking on the 3-3 Colts who beat the Titans barely 20-17. Joe Flacco is a good quarterback, I think. He's doing an amazing job, and I'm very happy for him. To be honest, I think the Colts are going to continue that winning streak, and I think they are going to beat down the Dolphins, because the Dolphins have a lot of injuries. I know they have Tyreek Hill. They got, Jalen Waddle. I don't know, Odell Beckham is playing. Yes, Odell Beckham is on the Dolphins. But I think that the Colts will beat Miami. Colts will beat the Dolphins 21-3. Colts will be 4-3. Dolphins will be 2-4. We move on with our next game. Coming up at our next game, we got a pretty good game. We got the 3-3 Seahawks and the 4-2 Falcons. Seahawks are here after losing 3 straight against the 49ers on Thursday Night Football, 36-24. Geno Smith looks really bad right now. He just does not look good. It's just not that great for them. They were 3-0, and now all of a sudden they're taking on real teams. They have a hard schedule, Seattle. Their wins were from the Broncos. Their wins were from the Patriots and the Dolphins. Now their schedule is tricky, so that's why they're struggling now. And I think they're going to continue to lose games because they're taking on the Falcons, who have been very hot lately. They beat the Panthers. No, everyone beats the Panthers. 38-20. Kirk Cousins looks like he's the answer for Atlanta, and I think he is going to go far. So I'm going to have to go with the Falcons on this win. I think Atlanta is at home. They have a better advantage, so it just makes sense for me to go with the Falcons on this one. Falcons will beat the Seahawks 33-20. Falcons will be 5-2. Seahawks will be 3-4. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got a pretty good game between the 5-1 Texans and the 4-2 Packers. Both teams are coming back from wins. Texans are here after completely annihilating the Patriots. Drake May was actually making his career start. CJ Stroud looks amazing, and they did this without Nico Collins. Nico Collins is out with a hamstring injury for a couple of games. He may return in November. However, they're going to be in Green Bay against the Packers, who completely torched the Cardinals 34-13. Jordan Love looks really good, so I might have to go with the Texans. I know they're going to be away, but I still think they're going to beat Green Bay. Texans will beat the Packers 33-24. Texans will be 6-1. Packers will be 4-3. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got an AFC North matchup between the 2-4 Bengals and the 1-4 Browns. 1-5 Browns, I meant to say. The Bengals are here after winning against the Giants 17-7 on Sunday Night Football. Between the Giants, they kind of were on and off, though. Bengals need to do a little bit better. However, they're going to be away in Cleveland against the 1-5 Browns, who lost to the Eagles 20-16 at that last-second field goal. Like, why would you go for a field goal? You were down by 7. But to be honest, I think the Bengals will continue that winning streak. They were off to a very bumpy start at 1-4. They just doesn't look good because they don't have Tyler Boyd. Joe Mixon is gone. It's hard for the Bengals, to be honest. But to be honest, I keep saying to be honest. But anyway, I think that the Bengals will win this game, and I think they're going to win their second straight game and their third game of this week, or this season, to be at least. I really hope the Bengals are good this season. I like seeing Joe Burrow. Bengals will beat the Browns 30-14. Bengals will be 3-4. Browns will be 1-6. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got another division battle. This time it's in the NFC East between the 3-2 Eagles and the 2-4 Giants. The Eagles are here after beating the Browns 20-16. Nick Sirianni may possibly get fired this season. We don't know yet, but they're doing a little bit better, though. But a lot of people are saying the Eagles aren't really who they are. But the Saquon Barkley's doing a pretty good job, I guess. They have a little bit of injuries. A.J. Brown was back after his injury he suffered before their bye week. But they're going to New York against the Giants, who put up good fights. They have a very good defense, and Malik Neighbors and Devin Singletary did not play on Sunday night against the Bengals, which kind of made them lose, though. But I think that the Giants will put up a fight, but I don't think it's enough to take down the Eagles. Eagles will beat the Giants 17-10, I think. I think the Giants aren't really for real, but I think they could put up an answer. But I think Daniel Jones possibly could, go to another team during the offseason. I think they may get a quarterback. I think they might get Carson Beck in the draft. But I still think the Eagles are going to win this game. Eagles will beat the Giants 17-10. And this is actually Saquon Barkley's revenge game. But anyway, the Eagles will now be 4-2. Oh, sorry. Giants will be 2-5. We move on with our next game. Coming up at our next game, we got a California battle between the 2-4 Raiders and the 1-4 Rams. Raiders are here after completely losing to the Steelers 32-13. Aiden O'Connell looks like he's been having issues. He just, he's not that great, Aiden O'Connell, as a quarterback. He did okay at the very end of 2023, but Gardner Minshew got benched last week against the Broncos, and then, 2 weeks ago, I meant. But anyway, they're going on to take on the Rams, who are coming back from their bye week. Matthew Stafford is returning along with Cooper Kupp after suffering that injury, and Puka Nacua is returning Thursday night against the Vikings, but we'll get to him next week. But I think that the Rams will beat the Raiders because the Rams are a little bit better. And finally, the Raiders got rid of Davante Adams, and we're going to get to the Jets later because you know what's going to happen. But I think the Rams could win this game. They're in SoFi Stadium. They have a home field advantage. The Raiders are not that great of a team. That Raider team is going to be rebuilding, and I think the Rams are going to be ready for after their bye week. They got a lot of rest. So it just makes sense for me to go with the Rams. Rams will beat the Raiders 20-13. Rams will be 2-4. Raiders will be 2-5. We move on with the next game. Coming up at our next game, we got the 1-5 Panthers and my 4-2 Commanders. Panthers are here after losing to the Falcons. Andy Dalton did not look good at all. He was just bad. He's just not that great anymore than he was in in Cincinnati. He was amazing with Marvin Lewis back in the early 2010s. But now they're going on to Washington against my Commanders, who lost to Baltimore because the Ravens are a very good team with Lamar Jackson. But to be honest, I think that the Commanders will beat the Panthers, hopefully, because the Commanders have a better team, and the Panthers are just not that great anymore. That Panthers team has always been bad ever since David Tepper owns the team. Just tell the team, buddy. And I don't want to talk, smack about them because you never know. They could, beat us because they beat the Raiders. My brother's a Raiders fan. But I think that the Commanders will win this game and finally end their losing streak. Their one-game losing streak. I think the Commanders could win this game, hopefully. Commanders will beat the Panthers 28-21. Commanders will be 5-2. Panthers will be 1-6. We move on with our next game. Coming up at our next game, we got a Super Bowl 58 rematch, or of last Super Bowl, actually, aka, between the undefeated 5-0 Chiefs and the 3-3 49ers. The Chiefs are here after coming back from their bye week. Isaiah Pacheco is finally back, along with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. After suffering that bad fibula injury, Isaiah Pacheco has returned, and now he's going to probably be playing in San Francisco against the Niners, who also got their player back, Christian McCaffrey, after suffering that bad Achilles injury that he suffered for these last couple of weeks. But I still think that the Chiefs are going to play a good game because the Chiefs are a very good team, and I think, they could top off the 49ers on this one. It's going to be a close game, though, but I think Kansas City will win this game and finally remain undefeated, the last undefeated team left this season. I don't know if the Niners are going to win, but I still think they're going to put up a good fight because no one can beat Kansas City. They're going to probably three-peat, I believe. Chiefs will beat the 49ers 31-29. Chiefs will be 6-0. The 49ers will be 3-4. We move on with our next game. Coming up at our next game for Sunday Night Football, we got the 2-4 Jets and the 4-2 Steelers. The Jets are here after losing that last-second game against the Bills yesterday, 23-20. Aaron Rodgers was having a great game, though. They were playing great defense, and guess what? Just this morning, when I was in college today, Davante Adams just signed with the Jets. We got a big update. Yup, Davante Adams is now a Jet. It is unbelievable. But to be honest, I think they are going to win against the Steelers because the Steelers, get this, they may be starting Russell Wilson for this game. I believe it's going to happen, which is Russell Wilson is, cooked up. He was very good with Seattle. He won a Super Bowl with Seattle. He was terrible with Denver. I just don't think that he's going to work out as a Steeler. I think Russell Wilson is cooked. He's washed up. He's limited now. Mr. Unlimited, I get the joke, haha. But I think the Jets are going to beat the Steelers on Sunday Night Football. It's in Pittsburgh, though. But I still think that the Jets are going to win this game. Jets will beat the Steelers 27-23. Jets will be 3-4. Steelers will be 4-3. We move on with the next game. Sorry about that. And last but not least, we got 2 Monday Night Football games actually again. Ever since week 4, this is the second time now. So kicking it off for Monday Night Football, we're not done yet. We got a pretty good matchup and a pretty not so great matchup. Our first matchup is between the 4-2 teams, the 4-2 Ravens and the 4-2 Buccaneers. Both teams are coming back from wins. Ravens are here after unfortunately almost losing to my Commanders, which I'm not too happy about, 30-23. Lamar Jackson is doing an amazing job. Derrick Henry has done an amazing job as well. He has gotten a touchdown ever since he has been a Raven. He's been really good, Derrick Henry. He's 30 years old, but he still has a lot of potential. I don't know if they're going to make the Super Bowl, but I still think they could beat Tampa Bay. Buccaneers are here after completely, just annihilating the Saints 51-27. But to be honest, I think the Buccaneers are going to lose this game, and I think that the Ravens will continue that winning streak. They were 0-2 to start the beginning off. Now they're 4-2. They won 4 straight games, and I think they're gonna get their 5th straight win and beat down the Buccaneers. Ravens will beat the Buccaneers 33-30. Ravens will be 5-2. Buccaneers will be 4-3. We move on with the next game. And last but not least for this week, we got the 3-2 Chargers and the 2-4 Cardinals. Chargers are here after winning against the Broncos, almost blowing that game 23-16 from their bye week previously. Now they're all ready. They're going to take on the Cardinals, who are playing in Arizona this game, who lost to the Packers, and Marvin Harrison Jr. actually suffered a concussion during the mid of the game. But to be honest, I think that the Chargers will continue winning, and I think they're going to beat Arizona. Chargers will beat the Cardinals 31-10. Chargers will be 4-2. Cardinals will be 2-5. And that is it for this week, everybody. These are all my NFL picks for Week 7. Tune in for Anthony's NFL Picks Week 8, which will be premiering next Tuesday, October 22nd. This is Anthony signing off, and have a great week.